What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Duke Todd. I'm back with another one. As you guys can remember, I left off at trying to get to my brother as he was hit, bleeding out on the concrete in the street. I was trying to get to him. Um, People in the neighborhood, they grabbed a hold of me, of my shoulders and arms, to get me to calm down. So I finally calmed down, and they made me realize that I'm losing a lot of blood and that I need to try to be as steady as possible, which it worked. Even though I still attempted afterwards, I calmed down a little bit. I still attempted to try to make it over there to him, but I felt myself getting drained. I was getting real tired. I'm talking about I was just drained, very drained. Like my mouth, I was just thirsty, dehydrated. And at the time, I didn't realize that you can't drink water when something like that happened. Being shot, stuff like that. You can't drink water. And I was asking a lady that I'm very familiar with in that neighborhood for a glass of water. I kept asking her, like, hey, I'm thirsty. Please give me something to drink. She said, I can't give you, I can't. I want to so bad because I know you probably dehydrated, but I can't because you probably have to have immediate surgery. And so I'm sitting here arguing back and forth with her, like, are you going to just sit here and let me die? Sorry for the background, but I just had to get this story out today. And so I'm going back and forth with her, telling her, like, you going to let me die? I'm telling you, I'm dehydrated. Like, my mouth is dry. I can't taste nothing. Like, it wasn't even saliva in my mouth at the time. And so I'm going back and forth with her. I finally calmed down, got to my senses. Um, I remember another lady in the neighborhood. She came. She didn't know what was going on. She opened her door and she walked up to us. And once she recognized who we were, it was a friend close to the family. Once she recognized who we were, she just started shouting and screaming and crying, and she was just going off, just going off, just crying out of the blue. And so people was trying to grab on her and calm her down and let her know that if she continued doing that, you're going to put three of the two that was still living in shock. So she finally came to her senses and she calmed down. And I never forget this lady because she sit alongside of me and she talked to me because I felt myself, I was passing out. And from what she told me, when I left the hospital, she told me that I passed out twice on the ground, waiting on the ambulance. I remember, this is all I remember. I remember the ambulance getting here, and it seemed like I had fell asleep or something, but reflecting on that, saying what she had said, that I had passed out, I guess that's obvious what I had did. I had passed out. So the ambulance made it, and I remember people in the neighborhood directing the IMSA people, the medic, to where I was at, my location. They was pointing, get him, he needs to go to the hospital ASAP. He lost a whole lot of blood. And so I remember them picking me up carefully off the ground. While they're picking me up off the ground, I looked at my leg because I never did look down the whole time. Believe it or not, the whole time waiting on the ambulance, even when I had got shot, I never looked down because I didn't want to put myself in a panic position, panic mode, to where I could lose my life or just go in immediate cardiac arrest. So I never looked down. You know, those movies I watched. So I never looked down the whole time. I never did. But that one time when I was getting loaded onto the medic bed, I happened to look down and I seen my left leg. Oh my goodness. It was barely attached. I mean, my left leg was rotated all the way. My feet, my toes, they were behind me, in the back of me. They had rotated a 360 all the way around. And I just knew I was going to have to get my leg amputated. But this is not a bad of a job that they did. This is some of, if you guys can see, my leg. I had to get a whole knee replacement. Sorry I didn't have no lotion, so just showing you guys. But I'm supposed to have another surgery coming up. But back to the story. I made it to the hospital, and when I made it, the nurses, they met me in the they met me at the entrance of the hospital, and I remember they started cutting on me immediately. Not cutting on me. When I say cutting on me, I'm meaning my clothes. They started cutting on my clothes. They cut my clothes off because they didn't know all the spots that I was hit at. They didn't know. They was clueless. So them being safe, they had to take scissors and cut all my clothes off, all my clothing. They cut everything off. And there was one lady, I don't remember her name, and if I did remember her name, I wouldn't put this lady on blast because she helped, and she couldn't control her emotion. So as she's cutting my shirt, I just remember her saying, "Oh my goodness, oh my gosh, oh my Lord, this has to stop. This violence has to stop. Oh my Lord." When she was saying that, because I never did look down. I never did. But when she was saying that, it was kind of making me get into a panic attack. So I caught myself right then and there. I told her, I said, "Ma'am, I'm up under a lot of pressure and pain right now. And these bullets are hot. They are burning me." At that time, it was burning, because when I had got shot, my adrenaline was going so fast. I didn't feel it. I felt it, but it didn't like burn. But as I made it, my body calmed down and my heart rate calmed down. Everything started to burn, like real bad, like a throbbing. I just can't. Getting stabbed, punctured, just a burning sensation, and it just burnt so bad, and I was just hurting so bad. And I told that lady, I said, "Ma'am, can you please use your medical terms?" I said, "Because you are scaring me, and I'm already thinking in my mind that I'm not gonna make it." I mean, I'm saying my prayers and everything. I'm still praying. I'm telling the good Lord that here I come. Forgive me for all my sins. I'm coming. So this lady, she apologized. She said, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." But when she said, "I'm sorry," I was still paying attention to her body language. She couldn't help herself when she seen all the wounds, I guess, and all the blood and all the damaged tissue and everything. I could tell by her body language that she was still saying to herself, "Oh my gosh, my goodness, this has to stop." That being said, the weather, it got so bad. I mean, it started thundering, raining, and I can hear it while I'm in the hospital in the back. And you know, most of the time when you're in the hospital, especially in the middle of the hospital, it's a good chance that you didn't even know it was raining. That night, oh man, lightning, thunder, raining, I could hear it. But the weather got so bad, they had called a helicopter, but the helicopter called and canceled the call because the weather got so bad. So, and the plans were, let me get this straight, I'm sorry. The plans were them taking me to Tulsa. Because if you know Okmulgee, nothing against Okmulgee, but they got better technology in Tulsa than Okmulgee. And so they was transferring me to Tulsa because the technology is better and more experienced doctors, I would say. And so that being said, they called to lifeline me. And the weather got so bad that they had to cancel it because the weather was thundering and raining and thundering and it's just going repeatedly. And so they came. They never did come. So I had to ride with the IMSA. IMSA came. I drove. They drove me to Tulsa, 45 minutes. I remembering the I remember the IMSA guy hollering at me. He was hollering, saying, "What is your name? What is your name?" Like screaming at me. The medic, screaming at me. And so I looks up. I'm looking like, why are you hollering at me? Don't go back to sleep. Whatever you do, don't go to sleep. Stay up. And I'm looking like, man, I didn't do nothing to you. But I understand it now. I understand why he was trying to get my attention.